Welcome to part 2 of the attraction series. Let's continue talking a bit about the fascinating attraction phenomenon. Okay, so I'm going to speculate a bit here, and as I said in the first video, this one is going to be much more abstract and not so much rooted in science as the last time. But man, stay with me here because that makes it even more interesting. So let me start by asking you a couple of questions, and I'm leading up to my idea here, so stay with me as I'm building up to the point. How many of you are spending a lot of time with yourself? Now, before you think of an answer in your head, I'm not talking about being alone. I'm talking about spending time with yourself. Look, as soon as people have 1 or 2 minutes over, they escape by distracting themselves with something. Now, I'm guilty of this myself, so it's not like I'm pointing any fingers here. But just think about this. As soon as you have 5 minutes of extra time, or you are being a bit bored, you instantly pick up your phone and start scrolling, right? Be honest with yourself here now. And 5 minutes is even pushing it here. For most people in today's world, it's more like 1 minute. We simply cannot just spend time with ourselves without reaching for the phone, food, music, social media, drama, internet, porn, alcohol, etc. Not even just for 1 single minute. I mean, seriously, be honest here. How often do you just spend mindful time with yourself, where you are just observing your thoughts and just being aware and present, without doing or distracting you with anything? I'll tell you, for most people, it is almost never. We just don't want to spend deep time with ourselves. Okay, so next question, listen up now. What signals do you think you are sending your subconscious mind if you always run away from yourself as soon as there is 1 minute without anything to do? If you never want to spend even just 4 minutes with yourself, what signals are you sending your subconscious mind then? The signals you're sending your subconscious mind if you always run away from yourself is, of course, that you are not worthy of spending time with. That's right. And here's the deal. If you don't want to spend time with yourself, then why would anyone else want to? Have you ever heard the phrase, as within, so without? See what I'm getting at here. If you make your subconscious mind think that you are not worthy of spending time with, and if reality is but a mirror reflecting your inner world, then you can bet your boots that no woman is going to think that you are worth spending that much time with either. At least not to the point that they start feeling some mysterious attraction energy there. Reality is but a mirror reflecting your inner world. And I have personally started to believe that this is especially true when it comes to your subconscious mind. And here's the real kicker, so listen up now. The ultimate form of self-rejection is when you take that fundamental part of you that is designed to make you go out there and reproduce, in other words, your sexuality, and you use that to escape into chasing porn clip after porn clip on some adult website. That is the ultimate form of escapism because your sexuality is the strongest force in human nature. So, if you make a spectrum out of this, where the left side is running away from yourself by distraction, and the right side here is spending time with yourself, being aware and present, then fapping to adult sites would be all the way over to the left here. And of course we also have all the other distractions like alcohol, smartphones, drugs, social media and on and on. But now let's look at the other side. What are you doing when you are meditating, for example? Well, that's right. You are listening to your thoughts and your feelings, just being aware. You are spending time with you. Or if you take a walk in the nature without distracting yourself by listening to a podcast, again, you are spending quality time with you. Or when you are doing stuff like retention or fasting, where you get urges to eat or release, but you just listen to those urges without escaping. Again, you are spending time with you without escaping the urges and without escaping you. You see, urges are a part of you, and for once you are not escaping. You're not escaping yourself. For once you are actually spending time with yourself. And let me ask you this, what signals are you now sending your subconscious mind? Well, that's right. You are sending signals that you are a creature worthy of spending time with. And now people around you will start spending time with you as well. Because remember, reality is but a reflection of your inner world. So this is actually when people around you will start to sense that mysterious semen retention attraction that so many guys have experienced on NoFap. And this is also why so many guys say that the NoFap attraction seems to get amplified if they also implement things like meditation, fasting, or just a plain walk in nature, being one with everything. Guys, I have been thinking a lot about this lately, and as a middle-aged man thinking back on my life, I can remember certain individuals who people just wanted to be around and spend time with. For example, my first girlfriend had a brother that everyone wanted to be around. Guys respected him and wanted to be his friend. Wherever he went, women always looked at him and gave him a smile, and he wasn't even super good looking or anything. Heck, even animals loved him. Yeah, my girlfriend at the time and I had a dog, and that dog was absolutely crazy about him. And you know what? I felt it too. I just wanted to be around him, and I remember thinking, what is it with this guy? Now, this was 26 years ago, way before there were any NoFap forums out there. In fact, the internet was just rolling out. And of course, as the years went by, I almost forgot about my first girlfriend, as well as this guy. But today, when I'm thinking back on my life, I remember that my first girlfriend told me that his brother did a lot of meditation. And at that time, I hardly even knew what meditation was. And I just thought that that sounded strange and almost stupid. I remember that she also said that he hardly watched any movies at all and spent most of his time out in nature. So what does this mean then? Well, in other words, he spent a lot of time with himself on a very deep level without escaping. And sure enough, when I'm thinking back on it now, if I had to describe what he had with one single word, it would be presence. So it's not so much about women attraction, since guys wanted to be around him as well. Heck, it's not even people attraction, since dogs went crazy about him. It's just plain and simple attraction. Now, this was just one example. Over the years, I have met several men like this. For example, one time during a music gig when I played the trumpet a few years ago, I saw someone that I first thought had to be some kind of celebrity since he had so many people around him all the time. But no, it turned out that he was just an organist that was supposed to play with us during the gig. And he had that exact same thing, that super deep presence and strange vibe around him. And later on, when I got to know him, I learned that he too practiced NoFap. He does intermittent fasting and he does a lot of meditation. And I can see more and more of things like this. Also, about 2 months ago, I published a video where I share one of my personal experiences with this whole attraction phenomenon. I will link to that video in the end of this one, so I won't go into detail about it here. But let me just say that in that video, I talk about me doing a 48-hour fast from food, and where I also started to do a dopamine fast by basically unhooking from all technology for 2 days. Yeah, that's right. I just took 2 whole days where I meditated and went for walks in the nature all day long. In other words, I was spending deep time with myself, being present, not escaping anything. I must have meditated maybe 20-30 times during those 2 days as well. And in addition to this, I was riding on a good retention streak. And in that video, I share how when the fast was over and I went out shopping for some clothes, I experienced one of the strangest evenings of my life, where almost everyone looked at me in the store. Complete strangers. Girls were smiling, and to be honest, I felt like some kind of mini movie star. And this even happened before I started to think deeply about this theory I have shared with you today. After that evening, I really started to do some deep thinking about it. And of course, I will continue to think and wonder, because I'm not claiming I have solved anything here. But at least I gave you the spectrum here and the concept of you running away from yourself versus spending time with yourself for you to think of. And I like to end by asking you, if it really is the case that reality is but a reflection of your inner world, how much are you going to keep polluting your subconscious mind with the dopamine industrial complex that we have in today's world? That's just a question. And oh hey guys, it all starts with you leaving the porn behind for good. That is the absolute biggest piece of this. At least that is something I'm absolutely 100% certain about. And I'm also convinced that dopamine and dopamine receptors play a big part in this whole attraction phenomenon. And the thing is, it is very, very hard to be a grounded man with a lot of awareness and a strong presence if you frequently keep numbing yourself and escaping into the nasty world of adult sites. And if you didn't know by now, if you need help with this, I highly recommend you check out a free webinar where Josh Hudson, a licensed therapist, talks about a specific habit construction therapy method that is designed especially for people who want to stop watching porn for good. And you know, I would say that system is the best system you can currently find out there. At least I haven't seen anything like it, since it's designed in a way that it actually removes most of your urges to even watch porn in the first place. And naturally that's going to make it so much easier to quit. Just click the link under the video where it says free webinar and you'll see exactly what I mean. And oh hey guys, that video where I share my personal experience with that 48-hour dopamine fast and the attraction phenomenon I experienced after that, well, you can see that video on the screen right here. Just click on that right now and you can go watch it and see exactly what I did and what I experienced, because it literally blew my own mind.